Alright, so choke on, cold start on the Navi. Give that a second. Kind of move our choke up a little bit. It is a warm one out today. We're probably, I would say we're around 80 degrees and humid. This is where the Navi loves to live, is in the heat. And the cold, sometimes it's a little bit less desirable for starting, but yeah. Had to do a little restart there. It does take a little bit to get some heat in this thing, and you gotta let them warm up. But we're just gonna send it today because I think it's going to be the right weather for it. So we are talking about beginner bikes. This is my 2022 Navi from Honda. It's made in Mexico, and I think they're sub-assembled in India or something like that. So it's a, you know, kind of a Honda. It's a Honda brand, but you know, it's made elsewhere. But it's been 3 years. It's a 2022. It's 2025 now, and I've enjoyed this bike. I really have. It's a 110cc carbureted, and it pretty much does everything you want it to do. It's got somewhat mid controls on it, I guess you'd call these mids, and if for a guy who's 6 feet tall, it's not terrible. I've sat on Harleys and I feel like my knees are way too high to feel comfortable on the bike. Part of this one is it's very light. There's a lot of plastic, and it's just a small little rip around scooter type motorcycle. You do have to have a motorcycle license, being that it is a 110cc, but you could pretty much put any beginner on this bike and they would absolutely love it until they get a little more comfortable, I would say. But this is it. This is the Navi. 495 miles. And mind you, that doesn't seem like a lot, but this is all little backroads riding miles, so it does take a little longer to get them up where, you know, some bikes are. I've looked at some other bikes here recently because I am actually thinking about, well, I'm actually pretty much done deal on getting another bike, so stay tuned for that reveal. But today we're talking about beginner bikes. So if you guys have been following my little moto vlog start, I started off with this. Main reason being that it was $1,807 MSRP. So by the time I got it out the door, it was mid 2000s, because you got to pay for the setup fee and delivery fee and all that kind of stuff. And just on another topic here, you can see our speed. I'm maxed out on the throttle, and we're slowly creeping past 40. So if I keep going and going, I might be able to hit 45. So that's kind of where it's at with a guy who's 6 feet tall and over 200 pounds. Just in case you're wondering if this is going to be the right size for you or the right amount of speed. I have heard a lot of people say that their biggest downfall about this bike and why they didn't want it is the fact that it is not a high-speed bike. And also, almost every time I ride it, when I hit the signal light for the first time, I bump the horn button, because it's right next to it, or one above the other. So yeah, where my hand position is, when I have to raise it higher than I'm expecting to get to that turn signal. But you get used to it pretty quick. I do have a Grom as well, and that one is a little different. I don't have that same problem with that one. But we are right now wound right out and slowly making our way to our desired speed, which is fine. I mean, this is a little beach cruiser. It's kind of what I wanted it for. I just really wanted to get back on a bike. I absolutely love motorcycles. I've owned everything from the big 1600 V-twin to this, basically. And I rode a scooter as well. So my wife had wanted a bike, and I got her a 50cc scooter, and she rode it like 2 times and decided that wasn't for her, and that's okay. So I traded that on the Grom. So let's recap. 3 years in with the Navi, $1,800 plus all the fees and whatever. We ended up, you know, mid 2000, maybe 20, call it $2,500 bucks to get a brand new Honda that you can get out on the road and do 42 miles an hour at my height and weight and get out into the wind, which I think is pretty good. And insurance is cheap, gas is cheap. This thing can do around 100 miles per gallon, which is awesome. And what do I think of it? Do I think this is a good beginner bike? I think this is a great beginner bike. Anybody who wants to get into riding a little bit, I'd put them on this in a second, because you don't have to worry about a clutch. It does look like a motorcycle, so it's not like, you know, oh, you're riding a scooter. It's weird. You know, most people see this thing and they probably think it's a Grom or whatever. But you don't have to worry about that clutch. It's one thing just to get used to the road, get used to your feeling of being on two wheels and playing around in lanes and just being able to be around traffic on a motorcycle. This will do the trick for you for sure. So this whole time we've been full throttle and we're at about 43, 44 miles an hour, but this turn is 25, so we're good. For most places that you ride at, like the side roads and whatever, this will go the speed limit, and that's what you want. It's when you get onto the 55 plus mile an hour roads is where you run into a little bit of maybe a shortage of speed. And there's mods you can do to make them go a little faster or whatever, but kind of my rule is buy the bike that you want to do the thing. And the reason why I bought this one is because of the price. 100%. It was a Honda and it was cheap, so that's why I got it. And I wanted to get back on two wheels, so then we could kind of go from there. So that's the main reason to buy a Navi. And you can go on the used market and you can get them all day for $1,800 or so. And that being said, this one will be going up for sale. It is almost at 500 miles. We're at 498, and today my goal was we were just going to do a couple miles on it to get up to that 500 mark. And I'm going to be actually bringing this back to Pennsylvania and give it a little wash and then put it up for sale so somebody else can enjoy it, because I do have the Grom, so that'll be my new small bike that's going to come down here to Maryland. And then I have other bike that we're going to be going over once I get that all squared away, and that one is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it. So, oh, we're at 50. We did make it to 50. A little bit of a downgrade and you can hit 50, so let's keep that in mind. But this is a sharp curve up here, 15 miles per hour. Brakes are adequate. They're not great, they're not touchy, but they will stop you. And one thing too is your front brake and rear brake, they're all connected, so when you push one, it's like pushing all of them. And they're drums, they're not discs, so they're a little, you know, not as touchy and grabby as you would get on a Grom or something like that, but it's nimble. You can go in and out of traffic if you have to, split lanes. You know, if you're on like a place that gets a lot of stop traffic and you're allowed to split lanes, this will get you where you want to go way better than a car. It's great transportation for the money. I highly recommend somebody who's looking just to get around cheaply to pick up a Navi, because even just like on the island, like in the Ocean City area, I mean, you could do, it's like 35 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour most places, so it'll get you around pretty much anywhere you want to go. Really easy to park. Has a center stand on it. It does have the storage unit in the front there, which is really nice to keep all your stuff. I do have the Kemimoto bag in there, so you can put all your stuff in there and then just pull it out all at one time, so you don't have to dig around. And I will be including that in the sale. Somebody wants that for the purchase price of this bike. We hit 51. All right, we're breaking some records here. One thing too is the tires on this thing are narrow, they're small. I don't really want to go much faster than that on something with a 10-inch rear wheel, but you do feel safe enough, you know. It's not like it's gonna slide out on you or anything like that. You just gotta kind of live within your means as far as what you've got available on a little bike like this. But cheap transportation, easy to ride. And I'm not brand loyal. I mean, I'm not saying you have to ride a Harley or you have to ride a sport bike or anything like that. Anything on two wheels is fun. Even scooters, like, you know what, you're gonna have fun with it. You just get on what you feel comfortable with and that you want to ride, and you're gonna have a good time. And I've heard a lot of people say too, just as far as beginner bikes go, if everybody's gonna tell you, oh, don't buy the little one, buy the big one. You're gonna want that anyway. You're gonna trade it in. You're gonna lose money, all that thing. Buy something possibly used if you get something that you can get in good condition, and just start with something. But start with something that you can handle. If you have zero experience, all day Navi, possibly a Grom if you can handle the clutch and the shifting and all of that. Both of them are quite easy. The 125 on the Grom is faster than this. I can do about 65 miles an hour with that, and the shifting is a lot of fun, especially in the back roads where I live. For the most part, you can go and have a lot of fun with just getting into the corners and learning upshift, downshift, rev matching, all of that. It's a great time. I've actually, Ocean City Bike Week, I've had this Navi there. I've also had the Grom there, and both were a lot of fun, even though that is primarily a cruiser event. There's a lot of Harleys there, tons of baggers, but nobody gave me a hard time. Everybody's cool. I mean, 90% of the people in the motorcycle community are just happy that, you know, there's other people getting into the sport and enjoying the freedom of being on two wheels. And it's just a totally different thing, you know. It's a lot like, I can compare it to maybe flying. I'm not a pilot, but I can imagine just like, you know, the freedom of getting out of your comfort zone a little bit and kind of feeling your machine and how it kind of just moves as you want it to, with your weight balance and all of that. It is a lot of fun. I love riding, and I was away from it for a little while, and I was so glad to get back on anything at all, including something small and easy like this. But yeah, that's what I could say. If you guys are looking for a little bike, I would highly recommend one of these to start out with. Or if you have somebody else that, you know, it's like, oh well, yeah, maybe I'll try a bike, get them one of these. They're so easy. Just crack that throttle and off you go. CVT, just like a scooter, and you can get, it's actually not bad torquey. I mean, we're wound out right now, but we're up to 30 pretty quickly. The guy behind me is not like riding right behind me real close. Not a speed demon, but certainly fun. And I think anybody would enjoy riding one of these, especially, like, I'm going to sell this thing for probably somewhere around 2,000, maybe a little less, something like that. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I mean, to buy one of these brand new right now, I think they're 2,000 MSRP. So you're going to be out the door closer to $3,000 nowadays. So I think it's a fair price for this one. It's been serviced. It has a brand new oil change on it. It only has 500 miles, been garage capped. I mean, you're not going to find a cleaner one. Never been dropped or anything like that. So, and it's got a couple little mods on it, nothing crazy. You got the back Kimimoto rack on it, that little bag, and I put what else did I do? I got some magnets here for the little JBL speaker, but you can put your own speaker on there, whatever. I'll leave the magnets on. That's what you want to do. And it also has these little Honda grips on it. I'll leave those as well. And you got a nice little ride to go rip around on. Especially if you got a little lake house or something. That's kind of where this one ended up. And you're able to leave it down here. Not really, it'll be like, okay, I've got a big payment on this thing and I'm not here all the time. I don't want to leave something down here, so I want to bring it back all the time or whatever. You can affordably have this toy just sit until, you know, you come down and want to go for a little rip. And I ride it in the winter time, all seasons. Let's go for a little dip down this way. And it's just cheap thrills. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting a Navi, that's my 3-year analysis on what we've got going on here. I wouldn't put a whole lot of money into mods on it. I would just make it rideable and go, because at the end of the day, it's never going to be anything more than this, other than maybe a couple extra miles per hour and maybe some accessories if there's a few things you want to add. But I think this one's exactly the way I like it. I'm thoroughly enjoying my ride today with you guys. It's very hot, very humid, and when you get moving, you get that nice cool breeze, and it's just very enjoyable to get out on two wheels, no matter what size they are. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This may be the last video on the or on the Navi rather, because I will be bringing this one back very soon. But if you are interested, drop in the comments. I definitely will be putting this one on the market soon. So, that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and as always, keep that hammer down.